Hello there, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS News at 5. It's Thursday, September 1st. Let's begin with our top story. Just over a week after the former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak was jailed after Kuala Lumpur High Court affirmed his corruption conviction. Today, the High Court convicted his wife, Datin Seri Rosmah Mansor, of corruption in connection with a solar hybrid project for 369 rural schools in Sarawak worth 1.25 billion ringgit. Our editor, Firdaus Ismail, was at the High Court today to cover the hearing. Could you tell us more on the update, Firdaus?
Thank you, Studio. Datin Seri Rosmah Mansor, the wife of former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak, was found guilty by Malaysia High Court of soliciting a total of 194 million ringgit in bribes to help solar energy firm Jepat Holdings secure a 1.25 billion ringgit solar hybrid project for 369 schools in Sarawak in 2016. Judge Zaini Mazlan ruled that the prosecution had proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Rosmah was charged with soliciting 18.75 million ringgit and receiving bribes amounting to 6.5 million ringgit. She was charged under Section 16(a) of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commissioner Act and faced imprisonment up to 20 years and a fine of no less than 5 times the amount of the gratification, or 10,000 ringgit. The security here has been heightened during the proceeding, in which only media with special pass were allowed in, with reasoning that it was a high-profile case. Earlier to Thursday, Rosmah failed to get Judge Zaini recused from the case, arguing that a judgment on it was alleged leaked and posted online last week. I was told that the court will hear mitigation on sentence by Rosmah lawyer Jagit Singh and Akberdin Abdul Kadir. That's all the update I have from Kuala Lumpur. Firdaus Ismail reporting from Kuala Lumpur.
Utilities, telecommunications, infrastructure and road connectivity were among the matter brought up in the State Development Coordination Committee in Bintulu. The meeting was chaired by the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, on Thursday, September 1st, with its main agenda of discussing the status of developing projects in the Bintulu division. Among those present were the Deputies Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Ahmad Douglas Ugahambas, and Dato' Sri Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Minister of Modernisation of Agriculture and Regional Development, Dato' Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato' Sri Fatimah Abdullah, Minister of Transport, Dato' Sri Lee Kim Shin, Minister in the Premier's Department, Dato' John Siki Tayai, Minister of Utility and Telecommunications, Datuk Julaihi Narawi, and State Secretary, Datuk Sri Muhammad Abu Bakar Mazurki. Sarawak commitment aims to create a truly sustainable tourism industry that makes a positive and enduring contribution to the region, and thus making Sarawak the leading destination for ecotourism and business events in the ASEAN region by 2030. In delivering this, the industry must grow and delivers high-quality experiences for both domestics and international visitors, while having a positive impact on local communities and protecting our natural environment, as well as rebuilding economic sustainability. The Sarawak's aspiration by 2030 is to make Sarawak a leading destination for ecotourism and business events in the ASEAN region, driven by empowered communities to conserve heritage, culture, and biodiversity, as well as to promote investment and development through responsible action. Abang Johari highlighted this when addressing the opening of the International Conference on Responsible Tourism and Hospitality ICRTH 2022 at UCSI Hotel on Thursday, September 1st. As such, he said the conference demonstrates Sarawak's strong intentions to join the global tourism community in advocating sustainable development goals SDGs in a local context and taking collective actions to future-proof tourism for many years to come. Previously, ICRTH was first organized in May 2021 with the aim of sustaining and regenerating tourism through responsible tourism initiatives. Deputy Minister of Energy and Environmental Sustainability Sarawak, Dr. Hazlan Abang Hipni, paid a courtesy call to the Minister of Environment and Water, Datuk Mansor Othman, to discuss matters pertaining to the devolution of Sarawak Environmental Authority to be handed over in stages on Thursday, September 1st. Other matters discussed included various initiatives and related information about environmental management in Sarawak, such as climate change, economic cycle, carbon markets, and renewable energy, namely hydropower, hydrogen, and solar energy. Dr. Hazlan and his entourage were then taken on a tour of the Environmental Data Centre EDC, which is located in the Department of Environment, JAS Wisma Subah Asli. JAS officers briefed Dr. Hazlan on the operation and monitoring of the air, river, marine, water, and land pollution. Also present were CASA Environmental Management Division Secretary Jamalulail Abu Bakar and officials from the Natural Resources and Environment Board NREB Sarawak. Welcome back. The business events industry is capable of attracting 9.2 million tourist arrivals with 26.8 billion ringgit in tourism receipts this year. Tourism, Arts and Culture Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri is confident that Malaysia can achieve the target, with 79 business events already planned in the second half of the year.
The events include the Malaysia Business Events Week and World Tourism Conference in Sabah. In addition, aggressive efforts are undertaken to increase tourist arrivals from India and Brunei. Nancy also said Malaysia is looking forward to China's border reopening in October because China is the highest international tourist contributor to Malaysia so far. She also noted that the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture is optimistic about achieving higher numbers of tourist arrivals, especially if the country is easing COVID-19 standard operating procedures. Nancy pointed out that the country has surpassed the initial target of 2 million international tourist arrivals since its reopening of borders in April, with 8.6 billion ringgit in tourism receipts. Thus, she said the ministry revised the target to now welcome 9.2 million international tourists this year.
The Tomatina Food Fight Festival returned on Wednesday, August 31st in the eastern Spanish town of Bunol after a two-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with thousands of unbridled revelers hurling 130 tons of overripe tomatoes. Around 15,000 people fought, splattering the fruit on each other, leaving a smelly red pool of crushed tomatoes in Bunol's main street where the action happens.
The Tomatina 75th edition started at midday after a firecracker was set off, giving the signal to 6 trucks loaded with tomatoes to drive through the main street, distributing the sappy projectiles for an hour while partygoers threw them and covered each other in red juice.
I want to tell to everyone that everyone from each part of the country, please come here. It's so diverse culture. I met so many people from other countries. We all loved it. We all danced together. We all played together. And I think this is the best time I spent in my whole year of this year. And after 2 years of COVID, this was amazing.
The Tomatina is said to have originated from a spontaneous bust-up among villagers in 1945.
Yeah, it was different than I expected. I didn't expect full tomato. It hurt, but it was so much fun and totally worth it.
It was banned for a while during the 1950s at the height of General Francisco Franco's dictatorship, but survived to gain popularity across Spain in the 1980s and today draw large crowds of visitors from abroad as well as Spaniards. Almost a decade ago, the organizers had to limit the capacity and started selling tickets as the festival became more popular and crowded.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration on Wednesday, August 31st, authorized the retooled COVID-19 booster shots of both Moderna and Pfizer BioNTech that target the currently dominant BA4, BA5 Omicron subvariants of the coronavirus. Both vaccines include the original version of the virus targeted by all the previous COVID shots as the country prepares for another vaccination campaign in the fall season. At the same time, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Vaccine Advisory Panel is scheduled to meet on Thursday, September 1st to make recommendations for the use of the redesigned shots that Director Rochelle Walensky will take into consideration before making a final decision.
The FDA authorized Moderna's vaccine for those aged 18 and above and Pfizer for those aged 12 and above to be given at least 2 months after the primary vaccination series or the most recent booster shot. The U.S. government has secured 105 million doses of Pfizer updated shots and 66 million doses of Moderna's bivalent vaccine to stave off the worst effects of a likely surge in infection as school reconvene and people spend more time indoors as the weather grows colder. Pfizer said it has some doses ready to ship immediately and can deliver up to 15 million doses by September 9. The FDA in June asked vaccine makers to tailor shots to the 2 subvariants responsible for the most recent surge in infections worldwide. The BA.5 subvariant accounts for more than 88% of U.S. infections. The vaccine makers have not completed testing of the updated BA.4 and BA.5 based boosters in humans. The FDA is basing its decision on safety and effectiveness data from the original shots as well as from clinical trials conducted on bivalent boosters during the BA.1 Omicron subvariant.
That's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.